Hey there, everybody. It's me, Chris Herman, here for another episode of On Deck. Today we have Christina Diaz. Christina Diaz is a media professional here in the Miami, South Florida market. She works for Effective, working with a large number of automotive dealers, helping them with their marketing strategies with traditional cable and, more importantly, their digital video products, data, research, audience selection through OTT. That was a lot of information. We had a great conversation, and I think we probably could have kept this one going on for a long time because there was a lot of humor in what we were talking about. But nevertheless, without further ado, I bring you another really fun and interesting episode of On Deck here with Christina Diaz. Christina Diaz. Hello. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Christina, you are on deck.
I am.
Yes.
Surprisingly.
You made it.
I'm a little nervous.
Are you?
But I made it. I'm here.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, there's so many things for us to talk about today. I feel like there could be a lot of comedy. And strangely, I don't know why I want to start with. I think my idea of us bringing that box of cookies in here, there would have been some good comedy in that. But again, I can't do it. You said you can. I said I can't because I'm trying to, it's the holiday times, you know? The onslaught is coming.
You have such discipline. Like I told you, I could eat for a family of 10. So the cookies being here would have, that's a negative for me. I mean, I would have eaten all of them with
I know.
joy, but then I would have regretted it when I would have gotten home.
Yep.
So thank you. I appreciate the fact that you are disciplined and I am not. But I am taking the fact that...
let me get this straight, though. I'm not particularly disciplined all the time. It goes in waves, right? There are disciplined times and there are not disciplined times. And I've had more non-disciplined times. Yeah, Donna's... the lovely Donna, she's saying you got to pull the microphone a little bit closer to your mouth. Yeah, it's okay. You want it, but not too high so I can't see your face. Yeah, just. Oh yeah. So look, it does this.
This is my first time with such a
device
contraption. Are we good?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Very good. So you want to keep it like 3 to 4 fingers in distance.
Cool.
You got it?
We're good.
Good.
I will not move.
Okay. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
We're going to have a podcast here. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do some podcasting. So, Christina, you work here locally for Effective, formerly known as Xfinity, formerly known as Comcast.
Well, it's actually Comcast Spotlight. And now we're Effective. So Xfinity would be the internet side of the business. A little bit, but we're good. You know.
Okay.
So Xfinity would be the internet side of the business. So Comcast Spotlight, now Effective, because we are a technology company.
Yes.
No longer just a TV company.
Well, nobody can be what they were in this day and age, right?
This is true.
You just can't be. You cannot be a TV company. You cannot be a cable company. That is so 1991, right?
Yes.
Everybody has to be a technology company.
Yes.
It's all about technology.
Gotta evolve.
So with that being said, my segue into you and specifically what you do is, seriously, you work with a lot of dealers in South Florida, helping them implement their marketing strategies, particularly in the video world, technologically, right? Through either still a decent bit of what we would call, I'm going to say the T word, traditional cable, dovetailed with digital video, i.e. OTT.
Yes.
How'd you get into this world?
Oof. It's actually pretty comical. I came from healthcare. I was a healthcare rep. I was actually a rep for nursing homes. And my husband now, don't even laugh. It's not like I came from radio or some other prominent, like,
right.
I came from media. No, I came from a nursing home sales position to my husband now, or boyfriend at the time. His ex was working for Telemundo. And we called her up. They have a great relationship. We called her up. Is there any availability or anything going on at Telemundo where I can, I was capped where I was at before.
In the nursing home business.
In the nursing home business.
We're going to come to that later. We're going to placeholder that. Okay. Yeah.
So, we called her up and there was nothing at Telemundo. So she was like, but I have a friend at Comcast and they are looking for reps. So I'm like, I'm for it. So I meet with, Paul Vigneault, who was one of my mentors. I have to mention that I haven't spoken to him in forever, but I got to thank him for the career that he helped open the door for. So I meet with him. I get the job. I'm like super excited, and he's like, "Yeah, you get to sell airtime." What the fuck is airtime? Like, I sell what? I'm sorry. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't get a list. I'm starting from the bottom up and pretty much just cold calling 24/7. I landed a couple accounts and that's where my media business began. He then pushed me into the automotive industry and he was like, you would be really good at this. I'm like, I know nothing about automotive except for my car's up in 2 years and I need a new car and who's going to give me the best price. So that was as far as my extent went. So I learned a lot from him. He pushed me into automotive, and here we are 7 years later. So, and of course I have to give thanks to Tracy, if you're watching. I love her. She is my stepdaughter's mom, who is now a manager at Comcast. She moved over from Telemundo to Comcast, and she's amazing, and she's helped me tremendously as well. And she's really the one that got me into this field. And
that's an interesting dynamic, huh?
I know. It's amazing. But
cool.
We share a baby, my stepdaughter, who's amazing.
Right.
And she's just fantastic. And she's really helped me learn the business. She was at Telemundo forever. She's been in media forever. And me coming from a healthcare background, I knew nothing about the industry.
Right.
And it was amazing. Now I love it.
Well, I mean, we've chatted on some Zoom calls.
Yes.
We had a preliminary conversation in my office for, let's call it 30 minutes. And we've now been officially sat down at this table for about 6 or 7 minutes into this conversation. And I can see why you've done reasonably, or I'm sure exceedingly well in the automotive field. Because you got the personality for it. Like you got a big personality, right? It takes a lot to wrestle with these dealers, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, you cannot, how can I say this? You can't be weak. You're going to be confronted with a lot of challenges. You're going to be confronted with a lot of no's and screw you. You don't know what you're talking about. I've been here forever and I know what I'm doing. And who are you? You just got here. So I think that I've learned a lot in the industry. I've learned a lot with my clients and the fact that they've entrusted me with their media buying and what they're doing. It's been a challenge, especially the last 2 years. I'd say the last year has been pretty much, it's been pretty intense for all of us across the board. But I am very thankful to them for teaching me, whether it's been continuous no's, whether it's been giving me the opportunity after me stalking them for a while, because I could be known as a stage 5 clinger, I'm not gonna lie. But sometimes I wonder, are they giving me the business because they're sick of me, or do they really like what I'm selling? But at the end of the day, I mean, it's been an amazing industry. I'm so thankful for everything I've learned. They have been, whether they've given me the no or the time of day, they've really helped me develop into the person and to the rep that I am today, where I feel very confident in what we have and really confident to represent them in their media strategies and what they're doing to better their business.
Lots of questions. I'm going to stick more right now with your personal skill set and what you've learned and been able to accomplish first. Then we can talk more about, effective and what it is and what it offers. But I I think that I'm more drawn in our business to the personalities and the relationships and sort of the gritty what it takes to get things done. And you talk about, you jokingly refer to it as stage 5 clinger, but at the end of the day, what you're really saying is that you're persistent.
Relentless.
Relentless. Even better. So let's talk about that, because that's such an important skill. And it's a real asset for many people, but it's also something that needs to be honed, right? Like, you can't be relentlessly annoying.
Yeah.
You need to be relentlessly professional and on your game, right?
Of course.
And so has this always been a part of you?
So I started my sales career when I was about 16. I worked for Quill Office Supplies, knocking on doors. So rejection has never been an issue for me. I mean, I was young and no, sorry, I don't want your paper. No, sorry, I don't want your ink. No, sorry. So it was always like, okay, it's a numbers game, right? So as I've gotten older, and especially really honed into the automotive industry, it's what do I have that's really going to make them hear me out? How am I going to differ from my competition? How am I going to help them out? Like, what solutions can I offer these guys? Because they're getting about 100 cold calls a week. Mm-hmm. Like, they're every rep, every person, they want to meet with these dealers. So what is it that I have that's really going to make an impact in their ROI and in their marketing mix and what it is that they're doing? So I think the fact that what I mean by stage 5 clinger is that no is not going to, it's an objection to let me figure out what it is that they need to come back with something that is really going to make sense to them. Mm-hmm. So really continuing to educate myself in their business and what is it that I have that could align with what they're doing. How can we work together has really made me successful. I think it's just not giving up. The first, no, I don't want to buy cable. Well, we're kind of not just cable anymore, like, this is what I can offer you. You want to target, you want to be effective, no pun intended, but especially now in the industry that we're in, where every dollar counts, how can I make your dollars work for you? And it's not just about, let me spray you on cable TV. It's right. Let me follow your audience. What are you looking for? Who are you looking for? Let me find them for you. Mm-hmm.
How I your last sentence there actually probably answers the question that I'm going to ask you anyway, which is how has the conversation changed in the last year for you as you sit with dealers in this current situation that we're all experiencing?
Drastically. It went from, let's see what is the highest rated program. Let's put you here. Let's put you on Prime, like Walking Dead or Housewives, to let's find what your audience is watching. So whether it be Comedy Central, Schitt's Creek, or whether it be Yellowstone on Paramount, which I love. Where's your audience? It doesn't matter what network they're on and when they're watching and, what time of the day they're watching. It's let's put you there. You need to be there. It doesn't matter what you what you or your family does, focus group of one. Like, we all like to be like, well, I don't see myself on here, or I don't watch that. Like, why would anybody want to watch that? Well, your composition or whoever you're trying to target or speak to, that's what they're watching. So that's where you need to be. So for us, it's been a shift of, let's not really talk about being an in-market. Let's go after that in-market. Let's go after that person who is a flourishing family who just had a kid and needs an SUV, or somebody who just moved here out of town, which we're seeing a lot of now. Mm-hmm. Let's target that person, or somebody who's environmentally conscious, who's pushing for those EVs. So now it's more of a lookalike audience, a mosaic, not more of that in-market audience that we're really focusing on.
Yeah, and that's the key difference to a lot of media strategy right now, is that it used to be about, well, this program or this time slot has the numbers, right? So we want to be where the numbers are. I don't know that there was a lot of real in-depth understanding of what the numbers were, right? And now we're in a world where it's like, no. these are the type of people I want to speak to, right? I mean, I'd happy to have my podcast be viewed by anybody, but being that there still is a strong theme of creative or marketing or advertising, I mean, that's who I want to see it first, right? You know, people who have a shared interest in what we're talking about here. And same as with advertisers or car dealerships. It's like, we want to be speaking to the right people, and it's no longer about what the show is, what the time is. It's about being in front of those people when they're consuming the content.
It's about the audience, and it's about following the audience, however, whenever they're watching the media, whether it be on the big screen live, whether it be requesting it on a set-top box, whether they're streaming it, you know, whatever it is, however it is that they're consuming that media, you're following those eyeballs. You're following that audience. So it's not just find me whoever is in market for a Nissan or a Kia, which is great. I could totally do that for you, but it's a lot more than that now, especially because, you know, consumers are not loyal to any brand right now because of all the inventory issues and everything that we're going to get, right? They're going to get whatever they can get. Mm-hmm. So we're not looking at, let me just target an in-market for a Nissan, because you're going to miss the guy that was searching for Toyotas, but there are no Toyotas. So bring them over to you. You're looking for somebody that needs an SUV. So let's target a flourishing family, somebody that just had a kid, somebody that needs a bigger SUV, somebody needs a bigger car. So you're talking to that person instead of really like low, you know, really going low funnel and talking to just that in-market person.
It's got to feel good to be able to represent, sell, offer strategy on a product that is actually meaningful, well thought through, financially well backed, and can provide an actual result, as opposed to maybe, you know, some of the other things that you've been able to hustle in your career, right?
Yeah, I mean, we came from office supplies,
right,
to I did home health care for a bit, and then I went to nursing homes, and then I'm like, complete change of industry. We're going to media, which I love, but it's definitely been, at the end of the day, I've always seen sales is sales, and you sell what you love. And I'm very confident in what we have, and with the backing of Comcast and the backing of Effective, I'm very confident that what we have to offer our clients is going to work. You know, we have transparent reporting. We have, you know, our products show great ROI. So it's a very good place to be in, especially in the day of today, where you're looking for partners that have first-party data. You don't have to worry about cookies going away. You don't have to worry about any of that. And we're able to deliver, you know, customized campaigns from our own data that's telling you, hey, listen, this is what these people are doing. This is what they're watching. This is what they're searching online, you know? So why wouldn't you want to focus on those people?
Yeah, the first party data piece is really important too, because it's your data, you know, I mean, it's what you as a company are gathering from your customers. You know, ultimately there's some overlay with other sources, right? To help refine the data, to help, you know, let's, you know, create a more specific recipe out of what it is that you have. But that first party thing is really important, because in some cases that's, you know, that's going away. Yeah. And so you guys have a real advantage there. And I think that if you know, if dealers are listening right now, which they are, and if they're thinking about, well, you know, should I message, should I not message? I mean, a lot of them right now are just of the mindset that I don't need to do much, it's all coming to me. And that's true, right? That is legitimately happening. But as we were talking earlier, I'm a firm believer, and you are too. And of course we would be. We're selling something that, you know, that is a necessity, not a necessity. We're selling something that we're encouraging them to do, which is to continue to communicate to their customers about something. And at this point, like I said earlier, it's about, this is what you can expect from the car buying experience right now. You can't just walk into the store and just mosey on out with your choice of car. That's not going to work that way anymore. And we want to help you understand what the process is. But I think that once you get out of core digital, you know, and to me, core digital is, you know, you still got to have your website and SEO. You still got to have some Google paid search, although that is like diminished now, right? Because they don't have the cars. They don't need to be spending a shit ton of money on all these model line campaigns on Google, because it's just like you don't need to.
Exactly.
So what's next? I still think social is hugely important. But when you continue what I think is the next creative expression in video, then you start getting into your choices of where do you run your video, right? And I think you guys are positioned much better than your network news, your network stations in any given market, because you can be more pinpoint, you can be more cost efficient, and if you just need to be on the digital side, you can be that as well too.
Agreed. I mean, it all comes down to, I made this reference to you before, and I'm going to make it again. When you're looking into your OTT space, which is now like the hottest, the new best thing, right? So everybody wants streaming, everybody wants OTT. So when you're looking for an OTT partner, you want to see, as I mentioned, you got to go grocery shopping, right? So you have a 7-Eleven they have, certain things that you can buy, right? And they'll keep you alive, maybe some chips and some outdated things, but it'll keep you alive.
Yeah,
or you
barely.
can go to a Publix or a Whole Foods or somebody they're meant for that, right? So you're going to go food shopping into one of these, huge, Publixes or whatever it is, because that's where you're going to get the most, you're going to get whatever you need, you're going to find it there. So I look at our inventory like that. You're dealing with the content provider. Like we are TV, right? So when you're looking to stream TV, when you are looking to, put yourself in front of premium video, you're going to go to the experts, right? You're going to go to the people that, this is what I do. Like I've got my carriage rights with my ESPNs, with my Bravos, with my over 62 plus networks, right? And then not only that, we get first rights or refusal. So we get first dibs on all this premium inventory. Like we are the monster in the room. So when you're talking about, let me go, there's like 1,000 different OTT providers popping up daily. Okay, let me see your reporting. What does that look like? Let me see how much of my impressions are landing on long form premium inventory. Let's look at that. How transparent is their reporting? So you definitely want to partner up with somebody that's going to be transparent with you. It's going to show you where your impressions are landing. Are they landing in kittycat.com, or are they on, like I'm watching the newest episode of Housewives on Bravo, or, it really, everybody wants to talk about CPM. I want the lowest CPM. Okay, you want your lowest CPM. You're not going to end up in premium stuff. You'll end up in user generated stuff, and hopefully you're not next to some kind of negative derogatory video, and right. That's where your video's coming, so it's really it's a matter of really putting your budget, your dollars into somebody, somebody that has first party data, and somebody that's really going to back you up and show you where your stuff is really airing at.
Certainly, there is information that you're receiving in your company coming down from on high, right?
Yes, this is true.
What are they saying? I mean, what are the high level executives? And we can keep this right down the middle of the road, right? But what is the executive team? What are they telling you about the landscape of business over the next period of time?
Oof, I gotta think that one through. Make sure legal doesn't get on me.
Let me ask you this. It's safe to say that your company understands what's going on in the marketplace, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I think for us, it's more of a messaging standpoint, which I think is where we align. It's not anymore about, hey, you got to go after these dealers and get them to advertise like their lowest price. And it's not about that anymore. Mm-hmm. There are other profit areas. So a lot of our dealers are, service is through the roof. So they can't even handle any more service. So what else can we say what else can they say about themselves that's going to keep them in the limelight,
right,
to make sure that there's nobody else coming in to take their lunch, right? So we've got, we've seen a lot of we're hiring messages. We're seeing a lot of we'll buy your car, because we know that the auction is ridiculous right now for them to acquire used cars. So let's do a message of, we'll buy your car, or something we were talking about earlier is educate them on what's going on, because we're in the business. We know what's going on.
right.
And, a lot of people are just like, oh my God, I'm getting gypped. I'm paying, and they're asking $10,000 over MSRP, or, this is ridiculous. I can't even get a deal. There's no incentives. Well, it's time to let them know what's going on, because they don't know what's going on. I mean, they know, chip shortage, inventory shortage. Like, they don't live in our world, though.
I know. I sometimes wonder if customers who are just, overall wary of the dealership experience are just like, oh, this is all a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
And now there's another thing there, another way the dealers are trying to screw us.
So can I just tell you, we have a family friend of ours that was telling my husband the other day, he's like, oh, these dealers, they just want to, they quoted me this much more, and they're just doing it to get more money. And we're like, no, buddy, that's not what's going on. Like, there's an issue going on. There's a legit issue going on. There's no inventory. Like, you want something, you got to order it yesterday so that it gets to you
in 2 months.
In 2-3 months, maybe, you know? So it's the misconception that the dealers are just trying to profit all this money. And to be able to escape that is you got to educate the public, because they just don't know. If they're not in our industry, they have no idea what's going on. They see it on the news, cars, which it's really not even talked about. But unless you're in the industry, you have no idea the dilemma that they're facing.
Yeah, there's too much other bad news right now.
The
bad news of the car business can't even squeak in with all the other bad news.
They can't even make it in there. So it's like...
Christina, we got to keep it down the middle of the road here. Focus. Take a break. Sip of beverage. Greg always tells me. See, now he has trained me, because I used to go like this. Like, I'd be like... and then it would come through in the show, which obviously the show is a little loose. Like, this is not a highly
Thank goodness,
scripted.
because I was worried.
Yeah, I'm glad. See,
I'm a lot more relaxed.
Now you're like, okay, now I see how it's going. So I think that you're feeling a lot more comfortable about it.
I am.
And most everybody gets a little nervous up front, and then we get in. But yeah, I now kind of try to do it very quietly like that.
Sorry, was I being too loud?
No, not at all.
Not
at all. In fact, Greg and I we had our second episode together 2 weeks ago. We drank an entire bottle of wine.
Amazing.
It was nice.
Good times.
But I'm saying no to that stuff right now, because it's the holidays. I mean, it technically it's the holidays, and that's when you're supposed to enjoy, right? And I'm like, no, there'll be no enjoyment during the holidays.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's freaking wonderful.
For you.
Yeah, thank you. Please do.
Oh, I will, absolutely.
So let's see. Where do we?
Squirrel.
Yep, that's what happens. I want to talk more about the dealership stuff, but I just, in the back of my head, I can't, because I got to hear about the nursing home thing.
Oh boy.
So let's go there. We'll come back. We're going to veer and go whichever we want. But this selling nursing, I tell me about this experience, because it sounds like it could be hysterical.
No, it was great. I mean, I lived in the hospitals. I was helping doctors and social workers when they were discharging their patients. They had to make a decision what nursing home to put them in, or if they were going to home health. So I was there to let them know about my nursing home, which happened to be at the time a 5-star facility in Coral Gables. It's amazing. So I was very happy to work for them, and they were a great company, and it was amazing. I felt like I needed something more. And being in sales, I don't like caps, right? So my work could not have, I was working 24/7, and I wanted to work 24/7 and be rewarded for it. Mm-hmm. And after a while, there's only so much you can do. And it was a little depressing. I would fall in love with my patients, like they were amazing. And then, with the time they wouldn't make it. So it's like it would break you. You're dealing with an elderly population.
Right.
And it was sad. After a while, it got sad. So I needed an out. I needed something else to do. And thankfully, I was able to jump into media and really learn from the bottom up. Talk about, I didn't have a list. I didn't have anything. It was literally the bottom up, cold calling and begging all my friends that had businesses if they would please advertise with me. So, but it was quite the transition, but I'm very thankful. It was amazing.
Did you always know that you were destined for sales? You know, like thinking back to like when you're a young girl.
I've always loved working with people. Mm-hmm. I was always a great negotiator per my mother and father.
Oh yeah.
Got out of a lot of punishments and such, but I always loved working with people, and I never liked the 9 to 5. I really didn't. I tried it out for a bit earlier in my years, and I needed to be with people. I loved selling. I loved being able to satisfy somebody's need, like when I need this and I need this, and I was there to be able to be like, this is what I have and this is how I can help you. And then that satisfaction was always drove me to do better. So I've always loved sales. The rejection was never an issue for me. I learned that early on. It was always a numbers game. Mm-hmm. And then just really falling in love with the industry. I'm very happy where I'm at now, and all my clients, they're all so different, and they keep me on my toes daily.
So two things. One is, you're talking about, being in sales, but what is really the thing that drives you is helping somebody accomplish something.
Yes.
Like that's the thing. It's helping.
I love it. Yes.
Right? It's helping. And it's funny that not we all, but those of us that have gotten into this business, to be in a service-oriented business, there's like that important thing that is like when you do help them succeed.
It's great. It's amazing.
It's great. And when they say, hey,
thank you, which is
sometimes it's few and far between. The thank yous and the attaboys and attagirls and great jobs, they're few and far between in our business, right? And I don't think that that's any statement on the quality of people. It's not. It's just that, they're in the same boat. They're being pressed so hard to deliver results. And when they deliver results, if there is a moment of satisfaction or gratitude, it's quick, it's fleeting, and it blows by, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of passes down the chain that way. But doesn't it feel so great when you know that you did something and you helped your client and it worked, and they tell you?
When they come back the following month, I know that I did something right.
Right.
So it's like, what did you do for me now? Thank you what you did for me last month. It's working. What are you going to do for me now? So the fact that my clients continue to come back every month, I'm so grateful and thankful, because I know that what I'm providing is working for them. Mm-hmm. And being able to sit there and analyze their reporting and what it is that we're doing for them, and them being happy with it and understanding it, really shows that what I have to offer is something that is a plus to their marketing mix. It's helping them expand. It's helping their ROI. It's helping them grow. So for me, that's every month that comes, and every month that they come back to me, I'm like, thank you. What I'm doing for you is working. So I'm especially in this industry where it's very hard to tie one sale to like really bring it back to what actually got that sale. Like with all these mediums, what actually got me to get there. So the attribution
thing, it's tough, right? It's tough. And that's why sometimes the credit isn't always given, because it's sometimes hard to be able to determine, okay, what you did was the thing that made XYZ happen. What, you've spent now 6-7 years in the retail car business, 7 years, retail automotive. What is it about the people? Obviously we talked about it before, you love the people. What is it?
It's the grit.
Yeah.
It really is the grit. To see these people are just like day in, day out, nonstop, don't mess with me. This is what I got to do. I have no, like, this is my baby. And to really see them work as hard as they work to make things happen, and just the different personalities, you learn so much from all of them. I think that's, it's always a new day. It's always something different. You're dealing with somebody different every day. And I think that's been, what excites me the most, the challenges and the obstacles I have to overcome, because they're not easy, and, their personalities aren't that easy. And it's like, they're very like, this is my baby and I'm going to protect my baby, and you're going to come here and what are you going to do for my baby? And I got to show them, this is what I got for your baby. I promise I'm going to take care of your baby. So I think that being able to work with these people that are just so driven and they're so goal oriented really starts rubbing off on you, and you're like, man, like that's intense. Like I want that for me, and you really want to do better to show them that you care just as much for their business as they do, because if they succeed, you succeed. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean.
I do. Of course I do. Yeah, I mean, I ask these questions sort of rhetorically because, I mean, I've just, I grew up, my dad was a dealer. My dad was in the automotive business his entire life. I grew up around the business. When I was a kid, I wanted nothing to do with the car business. I wanted to go in my own directions. And I found my way back to the car business through advertising and creativity. But that being said, even though I am not like a car guy, I have worked retail a lot. It's just in my blood. And I really, at the end of the day, the thing that I find so satisfying is when you just get to that point with your client where you're able to get business done really quick.
They trust you.
You trust each other, right? You trust each other. And you're able to get business done quick. And then you move on to the development of your personal relationship with that person, right? And if anything, COVID has impeded that to some degree. I mean, I'm not flying and traveling all over the place. I'm not having dinners with clients. That just hasn't really, obviously that hasn't happened. And I miss that. I miss, it's almost like, I would go and spend a day with a dealer and we'd do all of our work during the day. But really, the joy of the trip was always at night when it was like, okay, where are we going to dinner? And sitting down and open up a bottle of wine and have a nice meal together and talk about life and family and everything else, And I found that I to some degree, I end up being the therapist. I don't know if this happens with you as well too, but we become trusted advisors, partners, and friends, and they open up and they share stuff about their life, and that makes me feel validated, if there's, if we want to use a term.
Agreed. I mean, we just got the approval of being able to go see clients now. It's been, over a year? Mm-hmm. So it's been very hard trying to keep and build those relationships with new clients working from home. I mean, I love it. I have I have my baby at home, and it's been great watching him develop, but it's also been very hard staying in their face and really building that relationship and doing what I love to do. What it's my number one thing that I love about my job is being able to build these relationships. Mm-hmm. So we just started, they just let us start doing that now, and it's a game changer. I mean, my lunches, my whatever events were going on, I was invited to all sorts of events, and we used to do a lot of events and a lot of, tickets to events. We just started, we're starting that up again now in January, and that bond time that you have outside of the dealership, that bonding that you have at some sort of event where you're not even talking about business is crucial, because you really get to know that person, you get to know their life, you get to know them outside of the dealership, and you're actually able to have that communication with them. And that's what I miss the most. I mean, just being out there, really getting to know my people. It's been rough.
Yeah, it's just not the same, and I find, our business, thrives or not thrives based on how the relationships are going, and the relationships all come down to communication ultimately. And there's times we're all doing great, and there's other times you're not. But this Zoom era, bleh,
I know.
bleh, and with the podcast, I've had a number of people say, you could get a lot more guests if you would do it virtually, and bring people on the computer screen. And I'm just like,
it's not the same.
I mean, I'll try a couple of them just because, we're first. This is the first year in. This episode will be 60-ish something. So we've knocked out a good bit of them this year, and I'm really proud of that. And I'm not opposed to trying different ways to have the show, but it's this, like, I want to be able to look into your eyes, right, and see what's going on there, right, and have that connection, because we're living in this world now where it's just like the phones and the devices and
technology.
My wife and I've been pretty good at it, but last night we both did we did that, and then after 30 minutes, she was the one. She's like, why are we doing this?
And it's crazy. After 30 minutes, like, you don't even realize how much time has gone by.
You're staring at nonsense, right?
At nonsense, and you're like, whoa, I should be with my family,
right?
And it's
so and we're like that way with the kids. We don't have the devices on, but sometimes, like, when I'll pick my daughter up at school, and every stoplight, I'm kind of like checking shit, and I'm like, what am I doing? Not only am I wasting my time, but I'm setting a bad example, right? I mean, she sees me doing this.
Yeah.
So how am I going to say, hey,
don't do that
when it's your time? Yeah, don't do that. Well, you mean the thing that you do all the time? So anyway, like, to get that out of the way and to be able to sit face to face and talk to interesting and wonderful people such as you, right?
Thank you.
And enjoy that, right? Because this life is a beautiful thing, and to be able to interact is important.
Super important.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. It was rough. Last year was intense because, just like you, we had our baby, 2020. I don't even know what year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So last year. We had our baby last year. So it was like you can't even have friends over. You can have people over. You were stuck at home, and it's depressing. It was taking a mental toll on you. And now this year, things have been a little bit more, less restricted, and it's been a little bit more, let's get back to normal-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a little better, but it's hard not being able to be out there and interact and have that human interaction, and let me look into your eyes and see what's going on with your soul type thing. And
right.
Zoom can only take you so far. You got the fake background. Maybe you wake up and you want to put on makeup, but you got your, like, cute shirt on, PJs under, and you're like, I told my husband today, I'm like, I'm so happy to get out of the house and dress up. Like, I'm glad everything fits. It's been over a year. What? We're good.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't, things are dusting things off the closet. Like, wow, we finally get to wear some work clothes, because I'm literally rolling out of bed, jumping on my computer to, Zoom calls. Okay, let me put on some makeup and a decent shirt, and we're good. But for the most part, it kind of sucks.
It's okay. So many places, touch points here. Okay, so again, we were talking earlier that in a previous episode with JJ, we started talking about that, and we were like, okay, yeah, on Mondays we're gonna start dressing up, and we are, and it's like, it feels good. Like I feel like a man when I'm leaving the house. I'm like, I'm dressed. I got my suit on, or I got a sport coat, and I'm like, I feel like a man,
Like, I finally washed my hair, man. I'm like, I washed my hair for you today. It's been a while.
I wash my hair every day, but this ain't not much going on up here, right? But most days I'm dressed, I guess you could say, like an overgrown boy, wearing jeans and t-shirt and sneakers and stuff, and I guess that's cool, and that's part of me as well too. But like, something about taking it seriously, and I've been on this James Bond kick lately, and I went back and I started watching all the old ones with Sean Connery. And I'm like looking at how everybody dressed during those days. Of course, it's a movie. But fucking A, everybody looked sharp and nice. And everywhere they went, you had your A game on, right? There was any of this slack shit.
Yeah, it wasn't like a casual Wednesday going on. It was like 100 degrees outside, but they're still with their 3-piece suit and their nice, shiny, like, what are they called? The little tip.
Wingtip shoes.
Those.
There you go.
Those. And those. And the women with their beautiful dresses and their hair and their makeup, and it was a casual. It was a Tuesday. Hey, I'm gonna wake up today. It's a Tuesday, and I'm gonna dress legit.
Right. They all seem to be rolling with it, smoking their cigarettes, having their cocktails all the time.
Life is good. I like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Pop a couple aspirin and away they go. I have a couple drinks here on a Wednesday night and I'm still fucked up by Friday. I still can't fully get my act together.
Oh my God, don't get me started. This is my husband and I talk about this all the time. We could only do one outing a week, if that, because it takes us 2 days to recover.
Right.
We're that couple that we do a fireball before we leave the house, because a fireball gets the party going. So we need a fireball shot to go. We are the fireball couple. All of our friends and family, they know us.
That's your thing.
That is our thing, right?
Right.
But don't talk to me for 2 days. Don't talk to me for 2 days. I am in bed. I'm in recoup. Well, now with a kid, it's a little harder. But
well, that's the thing.
I don't want to deal with nobody for 2 days. Like, I can't. You go out, you have a great time, and the next day you're like, yeah, I'm never doing that again. So.
And it doesn't even take that much. So here, obviously we've got this...
Beautiful setup. I feel like I'm going to watch some cover bands.
Right? Yeah. Real soon. Well, you could. Well, don't you worry. When Herman Carter Sheffield is ready for our first show, we'll be sure you get invited and you will get a cover band experience.
Please.
But we were doing. Now we got some sound effects. Woo! So, but we would do the practice here, like Wednesdays. Okay, so in our family, right, we've got a schedule. Wednesday is my night out. Okay, I can be out and I can do whatever the hell I want. I can come in at 5:30 in the morning if I want. No questions, no nothing. And on Thursday, it's my wife's night out, right?
Nice.
Okay, so we both have a night out. We got Saturday night, date night. It's all scheduled out, right? Awesome. That's how we roll. But I would be staying here, and I'm not drinking a lot. But if I'm having some drinks while we're playing, and then I get carried away, and then I'm not getting home till 12:30 or 1 o'clock, I get my 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I wake up the next morning, and Thursday morning is my morning to get up, get the kids ready, cook breakfast, and get Sabrina to school. Like, Thursday's my morning. That's my wife's workout morning. It's Thursday. It's a whole schedule. Okay, and it works. But if I've been here late and I've been here drinking, and then I got to get up on Thursday night or Thursday morning and get the kids ready, and then I come to work and I'm not feeling great and I'm kind of... And then Thursday night's her night out, so I got the kids Thursday night. So by the time I get in bed at Thursday night, I'm dying. And even on Friday, I'm still like not pulling it together. So here it is. It's podcast day. There's no band practice tonight, but I'm going to hang out a little bit. I'm not drinking because I can't ruin the next 2 days. I cannot have Thursday and Friday suck because I want to have a couple drinks tonight.
So I mean, I don't even know what to say to that, but wow, that's amazing. My husband and I...
That sounds great.
That is great. Is good job. Yeah. My husband and I have date night on Fridays in our couch while I watch the baby monitor. And Tristan, my son, likes to wake up. He gives us a couple hours. So he'll wake up like around 1 and then maybe 4. So we got a good, I put him down at 7. So I got a good 4 hours before he starts going crazy. So 7:15, the wine bottle's open. Everything is set up. I come sit on the couch and we have an amazing talk about our week because we don't talk the entire week.
Right.
He has his office at home. I have my office at home. And it's just bah.
2 ships passing in the night.
It's, okay, bye. So, and my mom, thankful to her, she comes and she helps me with Tristan.
Oh, yeah, that's
a blessing.
Oh, that is a blessing.
So, our Fridays, it's when we unwind and it's all great. But he's actually pretty good at getting up at 4 to do the bottle. And then, he'll bring him to our bed and then he'll sleep again until 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So, but that split day thing, I like where you're going with that.
I'm telling you,
that's
we've got a really set schedule and it works and it's good and it works for us, right?
Yeah.
But I know that my wife speaks to a lot of people and they, she shares this with them and they're like, what? And they're very intrigued by this to the point where we're like, we might have something.
Yeah, you might have a little
educational.
A little speech sesh going on. Chart $5 for my, insight.
Would you like some insights into how we manage our relationship? I'm curious, as a relatively recent mom,
yes,
with a career and a baby and COVID, how did you navigate all that?
With help. I couldn't have done it without help.
Yeah.
My mother has been such an integral part into making this happen. I couldn't see myself putting my son in any sort of daycare. I couldn't see myself. We just didn't have any other option. And my mom, thankfully, was retired and she was able to come in and help. My husband and I both work from home at the moment. So the importance of having a schedule, she only comes 3 times a week. So the other 2 days, it's like planning out our days to where it kind of falls around his nap times or his whatever his schedule is. I mean, there's nights I'm rolling into 10, 11 o'clock at night working. There's times I wake up and I start working at 6 o'clock in the morning. So being able to work from home has given me the flexibility of when I start and end my day, as opposed to just a regular 9 to 5. And it's been very helpful. Supportive husband. He's been extremely supportive when I have late night deadlines or when I have to, we're going into 2022 now. So a lot of, my clients are looking into what's going on into Q1. Like I need Q1 this, I need data, I need this. So being able to have that support, I think has really helped me into getting my stuff, organized and making sure that I'm a good wife, that I'm a good mother, that I'm a great, good employee, and making sure that everything is kind of, it's help. I give it up to those that don't have that opportunity to have the help, because it's I don't know how they do it. It is hard, with a career as demanding as what we have. It is hard to be able to do that at a timely manner, then have to be a mom full-time with a toddler at home full-time, because he doesn't go anywhere right now. So he's home 24/7, making sure that the cries in the background are maintained when I'm on Zoom calls. I think it's just the help has been my number one.
When was your son born? What's his birthday?
April 2nd.
April 2nd. So mine is April 11th.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so basically right at the same time.
Yes.
So they're very similar stages, and they're still at that stage where they need a good bit of attention. Like we can plop Nicholas down for a while, a little bit, but it's not long before he's he needs that interaction. Where with Sabrina, she's at the age right now where we can she's at a different stage right now.
So Tristan, we have his gated community, I like to call it, his little gated area, and he'll last there a good maybe 15 minutes if all his Mickey and Olaf friends are there. But his morning routine, he needs his cocoa melon in the morning, and if there's no cocoa melon in the morning, then
Wheels on the bus.
On replay, and he does his whole little thing, and it's just so cute. But it's like, okay, buddy, come on, let's go.
Have you hit Baby Shark yet?
Oh no, I don't even play that for him. I'm done. I was hearing that before he was even born.
We finally got Sabrina out of that. I think she's out of it now.
No, we have a I Love You with Barney.
Oh.
And I hated Barney when I was growing up.
Right.
I did, and the fact that he loves this song is just like, it's irritating, but that's what he likes, and that's what, so I'll whatever it is that he needs to be relaxed. We don't do a lot of screen time either. He'll do screen time in the morning, so we'll do breakfast, and he'll do his little, either Elmo or Sesame Street and his Cocomelon. That'll last for about 30 minutes, and then he goes into, his gated community, and we'll start with whatever toys he has there. We have a park outside, so he loves ducks. So we'll go outside, and he has a swing and the ducks, and we try to keep him outside as much as possible. And then he won't get screen time again until right before he goes to bed. Well, he'll watch his favorite movie now is Luca on Disney. So he'll do a Luca or Moana. He's a huge Moana fan.
Right.
So he'll do that before he goes to bed, and that's pretty much as screen time goes. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to keep these kids happy.
I know it's a lot to juggle around. Nicholas right now, he's still waking up in the middle of the night from time to time. It's just
okay, so I'm not the only one.
We'd got him pretty good, but then it goes in phases where he's really good, and then there's a couple of days he just seems cranky and irritable all the time, and it's mama. So my wife is bearing a lot of the brunt of it. And it's just, it's just an adjustment, right? But juggling that with work and everything else, sometimes it's a lot, right?
It is. But like I said, it's been a blessing to have
Yes.
my mom, because he's intense. Tristan is just like my husband. He cannot sit still. He is just like on the go. Where am I going next? I want to go outside. I want to do this. I want to do that. So he doesn't chill. Me, I could chill all day. Like, I'm good. I don't need to be out running around doing 1,000 things. He cannot. So, and the sleeping is the same. My husband cannot, like, he suffers from insomnia. So I'm almost positive Tristan has that in him, because he'll sleep for a couple hours and he's just like wide awake, crying and hysterical. And we've done the whole Ferber method. We've tried to, like, let's let him cry. We'll do the thing. And he's great and he'll do it for a bit. But then, like you said, a couple days later, it's like he's regressed. So it's like, all right, weigh out my options. Can I get some sleep? I got to work the next day, or do I try to continue to train him? And it's like, bring him to the bed because I need to sleep. So
right.
You kind of go back on everything you've taught him, but it's like, I need my sleep, dude. I'm not going to be able to work the next day. I won't be able to function. So come over, buddy.
Yeah, our daughter's going through a phase right now too, where she, like, she's been sleeping in her own bed for a long time, but now she's in a phase, like, in the middle of the night, she gets out and comes in with us.
Dude, at one point they're not going to want to even see you. So at this point, I'm just like, bro, come join me.
Right.
Just let me sleep.
Exactly.
Like, I just want to sleep.
Yeah, let's keep tensions as low as possible.
Yeah, especially with these kids. They don't. Yeah, but anyway, them kids. As long as they sleep, we're good.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful. Well, Christina, what a chat, huh?
It has been great.
I feel like we could keep rolling here for quite a bit.
For sure, we can.
Veer off onto a number of different topics. Perhaps we'll save that for the next time.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be great.
All right, Christina, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you.
Thanks for all the information that you shared here and previously. Thanks for everything that you're doing to try and help our clients.
Yes.
And cheers and good health to you and your new beautiful family. Amen to that.
Thank you. Amen to that.
You got it.
Thank you.
See
Cheers.
ya. Bye-bye.